government efficiency, you just remember it is the Department of Government Evil.
The way I see it, this is not a recipe for government efficiency. This is a recipe for corruption by the d.o.g.e boys and this government and this Trump administration.
Know that the intention of this administration is to make us feel demoralized, to make many of us feel frightened, to incite fear, to silence people, to make all of us feel the chaos, and in the words of his recent nominee and person who was confirmed vote, he said that he hoped to cause trauma among civil servants. Well, your presence here today says it all. And what it says, well, you know what? We will not let him succeed because what we recognize is that we are not powerless. Power comes from the people.
Welcome on into another episode of the Healthy Discussion Show. Today we will be discussing the Social Security fraud. And this is why these people are right here protesting, because they know that it lead directly back to them. Numbers don't lie. People do. They're talking about trauma and being scared when you guys wasn't talking about trauma and being scared for other people. Imagine how many lives you guys affected by taking so much money from the system. Now you're being held accountable. It's a problem. But before I get my rant on, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, help me get to 10,000 subs. That's all I ask. I appreciate people sending me this email for me to react to this. Hit the AirTech EMF protector as well. I'm going to pin that to the top of the chat if you want to support the channel even more. Now, Social Security. Y'all understand with Social Security, they're stating, right? The d.o.g.e, the Department of Government Efficiency is stating that they have so many duplicates Social Security numbers, and it leads to the political realm. Whoa. What y'all think about that? That's considered fraud, isn't it? Right? Also, on today's show, we're going to talk about the fact that FEMA have spent $59 million just in a couple of weeks, right, to give to the Roosevelt Hotel, which is in New York, and different hotels for migrants to stay in the hotels. So y'all went against the executive order? That's another thing. And also, I'm going to talk about schools out. Schools closure, right? See, on my hat right here, let me show you guys. You see this hat right here? It says school, churches, purpose, right? If you read the book Outwitting the Devil, it shows you that they use the schools and they use the churches, right, to manipulate all sorts of things, including the politicians. They use the school, Department of Education, they use religion and everything else as a way of control. The only thing that's outside of that you have control of is your purpose. They don't want you to pay attention to that. They want you to pay attention to everything else. That's why I read the book, and I advise people to read that book. Some people say that book is dark, just like The Art of the War, Robert Greene books, but it's just a way of life, right? It's just a way of life. Eliminate the fear and go read the book, Outwitting the Devil, and you will see, this is where I got this concept from, just to let you guys know. Cross out the schools, cross out the churches. I know it seems a bit radical, but hey, welcome on into the truth, right? And stick to your purpose. Now, let's go on to another screen. Let me minimize myself. And these are the Congress people, the Democratic lawmakers that gathers outside of the Social Security Administrative Building to protest. Just like they came the other day to protest, and it didn't work. He had private security in front of the building. Why? Because these people are a bit radical, right? These people are a bit radical. Let me share something else with you guys. I'll stop sharing that, for instance. You guys like the artwork in the back? I know you do. I know you do. Elon doing his thing. Him and the college engineers. They're doing their thing. They're shedding light to the situation. I wonder how long this will last. Okay, here we have it. Let's go.
Good morning. And here at the White House, the DOGE effort continues, tens of millions of dollars at a time. The latest from Elon Musk, posted at 5:03 a.m., says the DOGE team just discovered that FEMA sent $59 million last week to luxury hotels in New York City to house illegal migrants. Sending this money violated the law and is in gross insubordination to the president's executive order. That money is meant for American disaster relief and instead is being spent on high-end hotels for illegals. A clawback demand.
Y'all hear that? $59 million was spent just in the last week. And they say that they don't have money for what happened in North Carolina or the hurricanes in Florida. But yet you happen to have money for the migrants. It's a money laundering scheme. It has to be. This is what started to show. It is literally a money laundering scheme, because it's no way you're telling me you have money for others, people outside of the United States that's just getting in, and you don't have money for the people that's actually here. That's an insult.
And will be made today to recoup those funds as President Trump gives a vote of confidence to the world's richest man.
Bottom line, you say you trust him.
Trust Elon? Oh, he's not gaining anything. In fact, I wonder how he can devote the time to it. He's so into it. But I told him do that. Then I'm going to tell him very soon, like maybe in 24 hours, to go check the Department of Education. He's going to find the same thing. Then I'm going to go to the military. Let's check the military. We're going to find billions, hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud and abuse.
So y'all heard it there, right? They're going from departments to departments to departments. No department is safe. It's like what the IRS should have been doing. If the IRS hold the people accountable for spending and they don't hold themselves accountable, even the IRS, they don't hold themselves accountable for what they spend. Come on, it's like you're setting rules for other people to follow, and you're not following, you're not taking your own advice. That's a form of manipulation all the way. That is a big form of manipulation all the way. Now let's switch over to TikTok. We're going to switch it on over to TikTok because I want to tell y'all about these schools. And the way I feel about schools is this, right? The schooling system is outdated. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. It's outdated. With all this modern technology that we have now, why aren't schools getting an upgrade? The way of learning have changed. So why aren't schools getting an upgrade? What's the percentage of things that you actually learn in school that you actually apply in real life? I say just about a 20%. So 80% of school isn't needed. 20% is, right? Now, as far as the new model of school, this is what I see. You need mentorship. You need hands-on learning and visual learning. That's it. You need hands-on so you can actually practice on whatever field, I'd say science, engineering, math, whatever field that's going to advance society, basically. If it's not advancing or adding value to society, it's no point. So to me, the school module is over with. You know what I look at school as nowadays? School from elementary to middle to high school to college is daycare centers. Let me repeat. Schools today from elementary, let's just say from pre-K to elementary to middle school to high school to colleges, the mass amount of them are considered daycare centers to me. They just watch your kids. That's it. They give them something to do, watch your kids. Is what they give them to do. Is it purposeful? Is it going to help the world out? Some might. We're talking to the majority of the audience here. Most doesn't. So we need to reinnovate. We need to modify. We need to upgrade all ways of learning because we have the technology to do it now. Do you know most of the things that I've learned is on YouTube? It's from real world experience. It's from networking with other people in real life, seeing where I could learn from their mistakes, keeping them in my network just in case. So schools should teach that. Schools should teach networking skills. Schools should teach entrepreneurship. Schools should teach math, science, tech, engineering. Schools should teach innovation. Schools should teach robotics. Schools should teach the things biotechnology. Schools should teach the things, to me, that is geared towards the future, not geared towards the past. All we talk about is slavery this and slavery that, and this is this and that is that. That's all we talk about, as if that's where our life actually began. School to me is a big manipulative device. This is why, because especially Black History. This is Black History Month, right? It's February. They start Black History Month as if we begun as slaves. Let me repeat. They start this month, Black History Month, as if we started our life as slaves. I'm here to tell y'all that it was times before that, and it was a period before that. And most society, Black, white, Latino, all of that, they went through slavery in some form of shape or manner, right? It was an innovative period as well. What about the pyramids? Why didn't we start at the pyramids when we start innovating a lot of things? Right? Why didn't we start at the innovation level instead of the slavery level? You get what I'm saying? So they're letting you know that your past, right? If you don't know your past, you don't know your future. But if your past is manipulated, how can you have a future? If your past is manipulated, is it correct to say that your future would then be a manipulation as well? A manipulated simulation as well? Is it correct to say that? Let me know your thoughts and what you think. I personally think that if you start out bad, right? You start out negative, and that's what you was taught for years, from elementary school to middle school to high school to all these different programming centers, all these different doctrines, right? Then eventually you're going to end up on the negative spectrum of things. If you start out on the innovative side of things, that's why I like positivity over negativity always. Notice that I say that in every upload that I upload, or upload that you guys download. I say that every time, because at the end of the day, it is positivity over negativity always. If you start out on the positive realm, and I'm not saying you're not going to go through the different waves, the different cycles of life, the ups and the downs, the trials, the failures, all of these things. That's what makes life so beautiful. You're going to go through the process of things, right? Fall in love with the process, because eventually whatever you're going through, you no longer have to go through. Right, you would then remember and say, you know what? That's what those things. That's what actually made me. You look at it as bad. I look at it as I can extract the good from the bad. You give me lemons, I make lemonade. I make popsicles and everything else. I might make a herb to heal you and everything else. So all I'm saying is that you got to think very optimistically, right? And starting off positive, to me, is the thing. I think that school itself need a hell of a facelift, one hell of an upgrade. We haven't upgraded that system in over 100 years. It's the same thing, and we wonder why 10% of people tell 90% of people what to do. And to me, it's like the smarter you are in school, right? The smarter you are in school is the dumber you are in actual life, because you don't learn life's concepts. And to me, the smarter you are is the most easily programmed that you are, because that means that you can take it in a program quite well. Did y'all know that most of the people that actually employ A students are actually C and D students? So that's proof in the pudding right there. So all I'm saying is we have to upgrade the system. It's well needed for upgrade. Our phones come with software upgrades every year. Why can't our schooling system come with that as well? And schools, to me, just teach you how to follow the rules. And the rules, to me, have never been in your best interest. Can we talk about it? Let's talk about it. Now, that was a little rant. So that's just how I feel about the schooling system. Like I say, go read that book, Outwitting the Devil, and you will understand my mindset on that. You know what I'm saying? Reading is really, reading can really set you free. I'm just saying, if you're reading the right thing, it can definitely set you free. Let's go, though.
Education, you guys.
Now it is official. The Department of Education is literally dismantled. I told you guys something big was coming. Remember when I made those videos last year, I exposed how a bunch of colleges and universities were shutting down, right? And then it was a whole bunch of elementary schools. This was already happening on the hush hush, y'all.
Elon Musk has spectacularly confirmed that the Department of Education no longer exists.
It appears that Elon Musk, Vice President Elon Musk, I guess, I don't know, he's got some role, some official role, thinks that the Department of Education is already dead. In response to Congressman Maxwell Frost's post about the DOE, he said, quote, "No such department exists in the federal government."
Elon Musk is not playing no games, you guys. No such department exists in the federal government. Donald Trump said he's going to release the students back home to their parents so they can do it just for the love of it. And if you really think about it, wasn't our children learning nothing but lies in the first place?
And I will shut down the federal Department of Education, and we will move everything back to the states where it belongs and where they can individualize education and do it with the love for their children.
And now it's all about the children, right? But it's like before, the politicians didn't even see the children. What's changed now? I told y'all, the shift is here. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. Let's continue to get this shift.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. The shift is here, and I believe in that. Now, let's go to, I want to, while we on TikTok real quick, let's go to, because I didn't expand on the Social Security fraud. Let's type in d.o.g.e.
Also breaking overnight, a blow to Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. A federal judge has blocked access to Treasury Department records.
Okay. Next.
We have seen Elon Musk conducting.
Musk revealing earlier this morning that his d.o.g.e. team discovered a huge gaping security hole and fraud scheme that the Social Security database is purposely not deduplicated, meaning you could have the same Social Security number many times over, which means your tax dollars are being stolen, he said. Elon Musk posting on X, this has enabled massive fraud, saying, I was told yesterday that there are currently over $100 billion a year of entitlement payments to individuals with no Social Security number. This is extremely suspicious, likely fronts for terror or criminal groups. This is the reason the radical Dems don't want an audit of Social Security fraud, because they're the ones getting it.
Hold on. The reason the radical Dems don't want an audit of Social Security fraud is because they're the ones getting it. That makes sense. Just learned about the Social Security database is not deduplicated, meaning that you can have the same Social Security numbers many times over, which further enables massive fraud. What? Do y'all hear that?
Realize this is the database that handles Social Security. That's crazy. If you even mention Social Security, Dems lose their freaking mind. Even the sheer mention of reform sends them into sheer panic. It's a Social Security database. Social Security numbers are supposed to be unique, right? All they have to do is add a unique index key to the database, and poof, all duplicate Social Security claims would be deleted. Yet for some reason, Dems are wholly opposed to doing that. I wonder why. $1.5 trillion a year spent on Social Security benefits. Estimated that the federal government loses between 200 to 520 billion annually to fraud. Could that be why? These people look at our government like we're one giant piggy bank. It's insane. Watch.
Let me give you an example of how screwed up the data is, Mr. President. This is a strong indicator of what's wrong. The Social Security Administration, if you ask them, will tell you that there are, according to their records, there are 6.5 million Americans living today in America who are 112 years of age or older They say there are 6.5 million Americans who are at least 112 years old or older. Now, I don't know about you, Mr. President, but I don't know anybody who's 112 years old. And I checked at any given time, there are about
to absorb. Musk revealing early this morning that
I don't know
Musk
anyone.
revealing early this morning.
Anyone that's
Musk revealing early this morning that his Doge team discovered a huge gaping security hole and fraud scheme.
Oh man, I don't know why this people. I think because I unlocked the screen.
Musk revealing early this morning that his Doge team discovered a huge gaping security hole and fraud scheme that the Social Security database is purposely not deduplicated, meaning you could have the same Social Security number many times over, which means your tax dollars are being stolen, he said. Elon Musk posting on X, this has enabled massive fraud, saying, I was told yesterday that there are currently over $100 billion a year of entitlement payments to individuals with no Social Security number. This is extremely suspicious, likely fronts for terror or criminal groups. This is the reason the radical Dems don't want an audit of Social Security fraud, because they're the ones getting it. Realize this is the database that handles Social Security. That's crazy. If you even mention Social Security, Dems lose their freaking mind. Even the sheer mention of reform sends them into sheer panic. It's a Social Security database. Social Security numbers are supposed to be unique, right? All they have to do is add a unique index key to the database, and poof, all duplicate Social Security claims would be deleted. Yet for some reason, Dems are wholly opposed to doing that. I wonder why. $1.5 trillion a year spent on Social Security benefits. Estimated that the federal government loses between 200 to 520 billion annually to fraud. Could that be why? These people look at our government like we're one giant piggy bank. It's insane. Watch.
Let me give you an example of how screwed up the data is, Mr. President. This is a strong indicator of what's wrong. The Social Security Administration, if you ask them, will tell you that there are, according to their records, there are 6.5 million Americans living today in America who are 112 years of age or older. They say there are 6.5 million Americans who are at least 112 years old or older.
That's a lie.
Now, I don't know about you, Mr. President, but I don't know anybody who's 112 years old. And I checked at any given time, there are about 40 people on an ongoing basis in the world who are fortunate enough to live to be 100.
And that's only what we know about. I'm hearing we're about to learn some major fraud has been taking place. DOGE going program by program across each federal agency, cutting what they consider like the low-hanging fruit, and thus far only scratching the surface on the ridiculous spending, saving taxpayers over $100 billion annually already after auditing just 1% of the federal government. Now they're beginning the real work, embedding themselves into some of the government's largest programs, particularly focused on healthcare and the biopharma space. They started digging into it this weekend. Musk revealing early this morning that his Doge.
Okay, that was well said. I'm gonna leave you guys there, right? Just for food for thought. It's a lot of fraudulent activities going around, and that's why I like Doge. It's finally holding people accountable. If that's the case, America itself has been frauding people for thousands of millennials of years. Even the government, yikes. Where's the dignity? Where's the pride? Where's the moral, ethical? Where's that? Where is it? Where's the ethics in it? Where's the morale in it? They're unethical to me all the way. They don't practice what they preach. They want you to follow the rules while they break the rules. A big form of manipulation to me. On that note, peace, blessings, and love. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Get me to 10,000 subs. That's all I ask. I appreciate everyone for coming on in. Thank you much. Remember, positivity over negativity.